If I ever needed an example of hard work, I have one in my face every single day.
Yeah.
My parents run on no sleep. They still work their full-time jobs. My dad gets up at 4:30 every morning to go into work.
Yeah.
On show days, he'll come home, he'll shower, load up the equipment, drive us to whatever city we're going to, set up the equipment, mingle the entire time throughout the crowd, tear down, run on little to no sleep, get up and do it again the next morning.
How important is confidence in general when it comes to music?
When I step out in front of that camera, I am no longer Andi Jo Taylor. I am Emma. I am Nikita.
Right.
I am Esmeralda. I'm not me anymore. And confidence is important when I'm being on stage, but what's a whole lot more important is the hard work that I'm putting into it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Nothing Fancy. My name is Kevin Salinas, and I am here with Andi Jo. How you doing, Andy?
I'm blessed. I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh yeah, no, thank you for coming, and your team as well. Thank you, thank you guys for connecting us, and I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I think that, a lot of people know me and they know what they see on social media or from seeing what I do on stage, but I think now, as much anymore these days, a lot of people don't really know my personality or a lot of my story, and people don't really know all the work that we're putting in and the hardships that come into living out this crazy dream of mine. So I'm excited to share some of it.
So tell us your story. I want to start with your name, Andi Jo.
Yeah,
I really like it.
Thank you so much.
And is it a stage name or is that your real name?
No, a lot of people think that it is a stage name, but my first name is actually Andrea. But ever since I was a kid, my nickname has always been Andy. And my middle name, Joe, comes from my dad's middle name. His middle name is Joseph, so I got the Joe part of it, and my last name's Taylor, Andi Jo Taylor.
Nice. And are you from Toledo area?
Yeah, I'm from Holland, so
Holland, okay.
West of Toledo. I went to Springfield. When I was in high school, I was part of choir, theater. I was on the cheer team, dance team. So I've always had the love of being up on a stage and performing.
Yeah, I was reading that you used to perform to your stuffies, right?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I would set up my stuffed animals in the living room, and I would put on shows for them. And I remember as I got older, I would tell my friends in like middle school, like, "Oh, I have rehearsal tonight," or "Oh, I'm putting on a show
Did
tonight,
you really?
So I'm really busy." Yeah, it would just be me in my room dancing and singing to whatever favorite song of mine was at the time. But I think that knowing that I did that as a kid, it just shows that the yearn to be on a stage has always been in me.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Have you always wanted to be on stage and sing? You always liked singing?
Yes, yeah, it's always been something that I've took an interest in and that I've wanted to do. Like I said, I would perform for my stuffed animals, and then as I got older, I was in cheer, theater, choir, dance, and getting to be up on a stage and perform. I don't know what exactly it is about it, but I feel like I kind of become a different person when I step up on stage. Okay. Granted, I'm still me, but the energy, the fire that it puts in me, there's nothing like it.
Really? So what do you like? You said okay. So you said you become like a different person. Can you emphasize on that a little bit more?
I think my confidence on stage just kind of shoots through the roof.
Yeah.
The second that the intro starts, whether it's solo, whether it's me with my guys, if I hear that drum intro or I strum that first note on my guitar, I just put myself into this different mindset where it's go time and it's time to do what the good Lord has blessed me with and share what I know how to do.
Do you work with, so Andi Jo is just you, right? Or do you have a band behind you as well?
So I'm a solo artist, but I have a band that backs with me and travels with me for shows. And I got to say, I love putting on my solo acoustic shows, but I don't know. There's something about being up on stage with my guys and having a live band behind you. There's nothing like it.
Do you only work with one band, or do you have a couple of different ones?
I have a couple different musicians that play with me, but I have my same guitarist. He comes with us everywhere. But I have a couple different bassists and drummers, so that way I don't have to miss out on any gigs or any opportunities if a show presents itself. If one musician can't make it, I have another that could make it work.
You've got a backup.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Exactly.
And like at what point did this become a profession for you?
Right after I graduated high school is when I really started getting the ball moving on doing this. But When I was a freshman, I remember it was during one of my choir concerts, and my parents came to me and they said, we think that there's something different about you.
Mm-hmm.
The way that I carry myself on stage, the way that I use my stage presence, I use my confidence. And they looked at me and they said, if this is something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life, they would back me 100% of the way. So throughout high school, I knew that as soon as I was done, this was exactly what I wanted to do. And my senior year, I had the opportunity to travel to LA, where I got to compete in IMTA. It is International Modeling and Talent Association competition. I got to compete in Los Angeles against 7,000, 8,000 contestants from all over the world. And in that competition, I won first place in the singing competition. All of my acting categories, I won Female Junior Actor of the Year. My monologue, I came in first place, Best TV Scene, first place, and a plethora of other different awards. And I think that going out there and winning in those categories and really winning the competition in general, it let me know, and my parents know that it's solidified that this is what I was meant to do.
Yeah, I was going to say that it's solidified, like this is what I'm doing. So how did you find out about that gig? And what year was this too?
This was my senior year. This was 2022 when we went out there. I worked with Starbound Talent Agency my senior year.
2022?
2022.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. I worked with Starbound. I signed with them in the summer of 2021. And from the time I signed with them up until I went to IMTA, they're the ones that took me out there, I grinded my butt off. That was my senior year, so I was participating in everything that I possibly could. I was doing cheer. That was right at the heart of cheer season. I was getting my voice prepared and trying out for the musical plays on top of managing all of my classes. Then as soon as school was over and as soon as practice was over, I would go to my modeling and my acting classes, come home, do my homework, get up, do it all the next day. So doing that at such a young age, I think it taught me so much discipline in this life that I'm living now.
And you took vocal classes as well, right?
I took vocal lessons as well. I started vocal lessons with Jean Holden. She's a Toledo jazz legend. I started with her when I was about 7, I want to say. Oh, wow. Yeah, my mom overheard me singing in the shower, and my mom actually took vocal lessons from Miss Jean. And so she said, let me put you in touch. I know somebody. And I started working with her, and after a couple lessons with her, she puts on recitals for all of her students. And I remember being so nervous for my first recital. I was so scared, but I was only like 7 or 8.
Right.
And I got up there and I sang A Dream is a Wish from Cinderella. And I remember as soon as I was done, I looked at my mom and I said, do you think I can get up on stage again? Do you think that they'll let me get back up there? So even just knowing that I did that when I was only 7 lets me know that this has always just been in me. It's always something I've wanted to do. And the fact that now at 21, going on 22, I'm able to literally live out my dream every single day. There's nothing like it.
So what happened after you won first place in LA? What happened after?
Yeah, so after that, I ended up signing with a management team, and I was actually scheduled to move out to LA, do some auditioning. This was right after COVID, so a lot of the auditioning was still online. So as soon as I got back from LA, I started auditioning via self-tape. And I was scheduled to move out to LA, but the writer's strike happened. So everything was put on pause for acting. Yeah. I was like, okay, well, if I'm not acting, I might as well just put everything that I was putting into acting, even more of that into music. And then I started playing at a Mexican restaurant. I was there with a little tiny guitar amp, a corded microphone, and just my guitar and myself.
What Mexican restaurant was this?
I was performing at Cinco de Mayo on Airport. Every Friday I was playing there. And I think getting my start there, it taught me so much. First, it taught me a lot about how to be an entertainer. It's not just getting up there and singing. And I think that a lot of times it can get misconstrued as that, but there's so much work that goes into this behind the scenes. And those early days of me playing at Cinco's, it taught me how to entertain people, how to, no matter what anybody's got going on, my job is to make people have a good time.
Yeah, because singing isn't just going to entertain people, right? You have to also have that crowd. What do they call it? Crowd presence, maybe?
Yeah, I remember one Cinco show that stands out to me the most. I think it was maybe my second or third time playing there. I was just getting started, and it was towards the end of the night, doing my thing, and there was this big table in front of me, group of people, and they were really, really having a good time. And towards the end of the night, they all got up and they were singing and they were dancing with me. And one of them had come over and told my mom and I, they said that they had just came from a funeral. Their grandma had just passed away, and they said to me that I had completely turned around their night and made them, for just that little bit of time, forget about all the sorrow and all the sadness that they were going through.
Right.
And hearing that, that's what I love about this job. Yeah. That's what means the most to me, is for those 3 hours that I'm on stage, my job is to make you have the absolute best time, where anything that might be on your shoulder, anything that might be weighing you down or on your mind, I want you to forget about that and just be in the moment.
Wow. You know, you've really got that down. Really, like, you're very mature for 21 years old.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Because I feel like not a lot of 21-year-old artists know that already.
Well, my parents, if I'm going to be completely transparent with you, and that's what I intend on doing today with our conversation, my parents are really hard on me as a kid. It started out as little as, before I went to school every day, my bed better be made, and if not, I'm going to be grounded for a couple of weeks.
Right.
So little things like that taught me so much discipline is why I am the way that I am today. My parents, they've held me to a certain standard, and because of that, I think that's why I have such a matureness to me.
Right. Do you feel like, so let's go back to the music, and I want to talk about your acting a little bit too, but let's just go back to the music. Do you feel pressure because your parents are part of your management team as well?
Not at all.
No?
Not at all. And if anything, I find it so much easier that my parents are my management team. Mm-hmm. I love being an only child, even though, like I told you earlier, Benson is for sure the annoying little brother that I never wanted. But being an only child, I always tell people we really are a family business. And it's so nice having two people that I know are backing me 100% of the way. Mm-hmm. They don't ask for anything else in return.
Right.
And they're right by my side. And any worry, any questions, any confusion that I might have, I know that they are right by my side and they are my right-hand mans every single time.
For any parents out there with a son or a daughter that's a musician, how important is that support from your parents?
The backing and the presence of my parents has, honestly, I wouldn't be doing this at all if I didn't have their backing.
Yeah. It
isn't just them front row in the crowd cheering me on. It's helping me with bookings, playing my manager's sound, setup. My parents, if I ever needed an example of hard work, I have one in my face every single day.
Yeah.
My parents run on no sleep. They still work their full-time jobs. My dad gets up at 4:30 every morning to go into work.
Yeah.
On show days, he'll come home, he'll shower, load up the equipment, drive us to whatever city we're going to, set up the equipment, mingle the entire time throughout the crowd, tear down, run on little to no sleep, get up and do it again the next morning. My mom still works her full-time job. There's times where, I mean, right now, actually, she's working right now while we're here. But on the road, she'll still be working. She'll still be taking meetings. And she'll also be my photographer, too. She'll photograph, take videos of the show. And having them doing that, there's so many things that go into this business that I wouldn't be able to do without them. And I know that sounds really cliche, and I don't mean it to sound that way, but it's the truth. Right.
So they do all of the setup before and after with you.
Before and after.
Wow.
Yep. Running on fumes in a dream, that's for sure. But you know what? Even though they do so much and they work so hard, you'll never hear them complain about it. You'll never see them without a smile on their face. You'll never see them not front row because at the end of the day, they always say that their dream is to watch me live out mine.
I like that.
Thank you.
Man. You know, sometimes I kind of going back to my personal story. I always
Yeah.
enjoyed soccer. And sometimes this is a crazy thought, by the way, but I'm like, if my parents would have supported me, I may have been a soccer player, or I may have never made it. But so everybody knows Andi Jo. Well, at least I know Andi Jo as a musician. You talked a little bit about acting.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. How'd you get into acting as well?
Yeah. So really, I mean, the only acting that I had ever done was in theater or any drama classes that I had taken, but music was always number one for me. I always wanted to be a singer. I always wanted to be an entertainer. But when I signed my contract with Starbound, the door for acting can open up so many opportunities for you as a musician. I mean, you look at television shows where the main actress, once the show's over, she goes off and she becomes a singer.
Right.
You see that all the time. And so when
I think it's just like being in that room full of connections.
Yeah. And I think too the notoriety of, I know that girl. I seen her on this show, or I watched her in this movie. She's a singer too. Wow, that's really cool. Let me listen to her stuff. So after IMTA, like I said, I was focused on acting, and then the writer's strike happened. But I started picking up films that were filming around here. Everything out in LA was all via self-tape, and then, like I said, the strike happened, but there were still productions being shot around the Midwest. And one of the first films that I did was up in Detroit. I shot a film entirely in Spanish called Un Día Normal, and right now it's currently making its film festival run, and it's shown in New York, Florida, LA, Georgia, and I've actually won Best Actress at the Georgia Film Festival and the Detroit Film Festival.
Wow.
And it's getting ready to make its showing in Mexico as well. So that was
100% in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
here's the thing: I could sing in Spanish.
I was just gonna ask you that.
I'm not the best speaker, actually. I took Spanish all 4 years in high school, but honestly, I can understand it, but I'm not the best speaker. We used to spend every Tuesday with my grandpa, my mom, and I, and my dad. This was when my dad was working nights, but whenever he was able to have time off, he would come with us.
Yeah,
we would spend every Tuesday with my grandpa for the last 10 years up until he passed 2 years ago. And it started out as just grandpa needed somebody to take his trash out for him on Tuesdays. And then it turned into, well, let's bring him dinner. Let's go in and spend time with him. Let's have him share stories. Let's play board games with him. And his first language was Spanish. He could speak English, but it was broken. But my mom, she speaks fluent Spanish. And as a challenge, my mom would talk to him in Spanish on purpose in front of me, and he would speak in Spanish back. And I was trying really, really hard to understand. It was like a mental workout, if you will.
Right.
You use it or you lose it. And in that time, I learned a lot how to understand, but it's still kind of hard for me to form sentences. So when I filmed Un Día Normal, my mom and I, we sat at the kitchen table every single night until like 2 o'clock in the morning, just drilling the lines, drilling the script into my head. She would like lay out the lines for me and tell me what everything meant too, so that way I could channel the proper emotion to it as well.
Right.
It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work, but I am so grateful that I got to be a part of that project, and I'm so happy to see all the amazing things that it's doing. I can't say enough good things about the cast and the crew on that project.
How many projects have you been in regarding acting? Like,
that's a good question. There's Un Día Normal. There was The Lifeguards. I've done a couple other short films. I am gearing up to shoot another film this fall in Cincinnati, Dayton area. It's called Speak Easy. Am I missing anything? Am I missing anything? The Past Comes Knocking. That was on Lifetime. Nikita. Yep. I got to travel to Kansas City and shoot Nikita in the New Moon. That's on Short TV. It's a short reel TV show. So basically it's like TikTok, but for TV shows. So each episode is like a minute or two long, and you watch it in like short form content form.
Really?
And scroll up, watch the next episode. I got to be a part of a Lifetime movie called The Past Comes Knocking that aired, I want to say last spring as well. I got to film The Lifeguards that was shot in Sylvania. That was so much fun. I got to play the lead role of Emma, and they ended up having the premiere for that movie at the Mommy Indoor Theater, and 100 of my closest friends and family and fans showed up for that, and it was truly a career highlight for me, that premiere.
What do you enjoy more?
This is such a hard question. People ask me this all the time, if I have a favorite, and I don't know if I necessarily have a favorite, because there's so many. Acting and performing are very similar, but also very different at the same time. The same way that I have to convey emotion in a song, whether I'm on stage performing it or whether I'm writing the song, is the same emotion that I have to convey in a performance that I'm giving through acting. So they're similar, but also very different in a lot of ways. I can't say that I have a favorite.
It's how important is and let me think of how I want to ask this question, but confidence in general when it comes to music, and I'm sure when it comes to acting as well, because you have to say things like you're confident, right? Like if you're singing, I'm the king of the world, you have to feel it. You have to actually kind of like mentally get in that mindset of you actually are the king of the world.
Well, with acting, it's more getting in the mindset of you being a completely different person. When I step out in front of that camera, I am no longer Andi Jo Taylor. I am Emma. I am Nikita.
Right.
I am Esmeralda. I'm not me anymore. And the characters that I've played, I will keep a journal with me, and I will write down journal entries every single day as I'm getting into that character as that character. So what would Emma be doing today? What would she be thinking? What would she be feeling? I'll listen to playlists from whatever character that I'm getting ready to go play. I'm memorizing lines. I'm spending hours going over the lines and making sure that I convey the emotion properly. So while a lot of it is confidence, more of it, I would say, is hard work. And really digging deep and getting into the character. And it's the same thing with singing too. Yes, confidence is important when I'm being on stage, but what's a whole lot more important is the hard work that I'm putting into it.
I like how you answered that.
Thank you.
So directors don't tell you, hey, this is how Emma should be. You have to figure that out on your own, or
I would say it's a mix of both, right? So they'll give you a description of, okay, this is the character, this is how she's supposed to be. Like for Emma, for example, she's a very strong-minded. This was like the accurate description of her. She was strong-minded, very opinionated, party college girl, right? Working her summer job as a lifeguard, but she really doesn't want to be there. So I took that and I flipped it into, okay, this is what Emma is supposed to be. What kind of clothes would Emma wear? What music would Emma listen to? What would be her attitude towards, like, if I was in traffic or something, okay, what would Emma do in this instance right now?
Right.
If I was talking to my parents, how would Emma talk to her parents? So yes, they tell you, but also a lot of it is figuring it out on your own so you can really embody and become that character.
That's really good. You've got, I really like how you get into, like, I don't know, there's a lot of passion behind what you're telling me right now.
Thank you.
And I appreciate
that. Thank you.
a lot of passion. One of my biggest questions is country. Why country?
I listened to just about everything. When I was a kid, I listened to pop. I was a huge Justin Bieber fan, like crazy Justin Bieber fan.
What were they calling him? A Bieber?
A believer.
A believer.
I was believer to the max. All of my birthday cakes from the time I was like 8 up until 12 had Justin Bieber's face on that. It was serious. But, I was a kid growing up. I listened to the typical, bubblegum, girly pop. But my parents played everything for me. We would go from listening to Justin Bieber, Britney Spears in the car, or, when I would get in the car with my dad, he would play old country, he would play Reba, he would play Dolly, he would play Kenny Rogers. And I think one of my favorite parts about country music is the storytelling behind it. And that's what I do with my songwriting. I tell a story. So when I started writing my first songs, I think I wrote my first one when I was 11, I want to say. I loved that I got to tell a story and I got to be the narrator.
Right.
And that's exactly what country music is. So now here I am. When
you do you think country's just the beginning and then maybe eventually you'll get into other genres, or you'll stay country?
I think that no matter where this journey takes me, country will always have my heart. Always. I don't know if I necessarily see myself switching genres or switching things up. You know, I'm all for the crossover collabs, you know, those are cool. But there is, again, like I said, it's the art of storytelling, and who am I without being able to sit in my bedroom with my guitar and write out a story.
When you write, who do you, what artist or where does your inspiration come from?
My inspiration for writing, as far as artists go, I listen to everything. Like I said, my playlist, you'll hear Taylor Swift and then it'll switch to Slipknot. Like it's very, very all over the place. But I think as a musician, if you're not listening to everything, you're kind of limiting yourself and putting yourself in a box. You can pull inspiration from anything that you're listening to.
Yeah.
But when I write, songs can come from anything. There's songs that I've written where it's about something and it hasn't even happened to me. Or there's other songs. I just wrote one back in January. It's called Dive Bar 10. And I wrote this song about a dive bar, one of my favorite places that I play. It's a dive bar in Bradner, Ohio. And it's literally trees, bar, trees. Like it looks honestly kind of like a horror movie when you're driving there. But I have met some of the most genuine people, some of my biggest fans there at that bar. And as soon as I walk in, the owner, he knows it's a party every time we come. So
yeah.
As soon as he sees my dad and I, hands us a beer, shot of tequila. And so my best friend came with us the last time I played there in October, and I was in the bathroom with her. We had a couple shots. All right. We had a couple shots. It's fine. And I said, I don't know. I just feel like my outfit's kind of giving Dive Bar 10. And so that stuck with me, that wording Dive Bar 10. And I kept saying it to myself in the car, and I pulled out my phone, and I have this notes app in my phone folder. It's called Stuff, and I just write down anything that I could possibly be thinking of on the road, whether it's song titles, whether it's lyrics, whether I hear somebody say something and I write it down. And so I started writing this song, and I was like, wow, well, I really don't know where to go from here. And pulled out my phone, and I saw it, and it was staring right back at me, Dive Bar 10. And all, like, this entire song just came from that one line that I said in the bathroom at one of my favorite dive bars. So inspiration can come from anything.
Right.
It doesn't just have to be something personal that I went through. It can strike at any given time.
Your friends who've seen you, or your friends that you had in high school,
Yeah.
that now see who you are now, do they do you still stay in touch with them? Like,
Oh my gosh, yes. I have a group of such amazing friends that have been cheering me on since my Cinco de Mayo days, since my IMTA days, and they've been rooting for me. I really think that I found my core group of friends my senior year during our senior theater production. That's when we all kind of became the closest. And now, I mean, they're kind of all over the place. One of my best friends, she is in school at Ohio State. Two of my other friends, they're in school up in Michigan. And one of my other best friends, she goes to school in Bowling Green. But we still keep in touch with each other. They come to my shows whenever I'm near them or whenever they're home from school. And the way that they continue to show up and give me such endless amounts of love and let me know that they are right by my side every step of this way. It's amazing to have.
So you after a show, you go home, and does Andi Jo have any hobbies?
I don't necessarily know if Andi Jo has any hobbies. I really like to read. I'm big on reading right now. Once the weather breaks, I like to spend a lot of time outside when I can, whether I'm laying out in the sun, riding my bike, going on walks, taking care of my body. But really after a show and the time in between one weekend of shows to the next, I'm focusing on self-care, taking care of my body, taking care of my voice, making sure that I'm adequately prepared and ready for the next weekend of shows that comes up.
You were off cameras. We were talking about you had a vocal injury. I didn't even know you could have vocal injuries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I took vocal lessons, like I said, as a kid, and throughout high school I was in choir, and you learn a lot about how to perform, but not a lot about vocal health and proper care. And these last 2 years, I was pedal to the metal. There were weeks where I was playing 6 shows a night, and
Oh wow, 6 shows a night.
6 shows a night, and it's not your standard typical. You see someone who's on a major world tour like a Jason Aldean or like a Lainey Wilson. They get up on stage and they play for an hour and a half, and that's it. Then they go on their bus, they sleep, they get up, and they do the next day. I'm playing 3-4 hour shows 6 nights a week sometimes. And I didn't know what I didn't know in a nutshell. Right. And in October, I got sick. I just had like a cold or something. And I'm very, very anti-cancel a show. I don't care if I have just broken my leg. I will go to the ER, get my leg put in a cast, and you will still find me on stage. And so I'm like, all right, I know I'm sick. I did the stuff to take care of myself, sauna, steam, all that stuff. And I was starting to feel a little bit better. So I'm like, all right, I'm fine. Did a 2-show run in Columbus, woke up Sunday, and my voice just felt so shot, so awful. It was really raspy. It was hoarse.
Yeah.
It was really painful. Felt like I was swallowing a bag of nails, honestly. And so I went to see my doctor, and he put me on a week of vocal rest. I had to cancel like 3 shows, and that killed me.
Yeah.
Not only do I feel like I'm letting my fans down, but I'm also letting the venues down. Shows get booked months in advance, and the venues and the fans, they're looking forward to this. And I hate that falls, that I'm the one that has to cancel that,
Right.
So I had those 3 shows that I canceled, took care of myself in the ways that I kind of knew how to. I have a little portable nebulizer. I have a big facial steamer that I use, and I'll get in the sauna. That's really all that I knew. And so went back, did a couple shows, and I was just still feeling awful. I was having a lot of pain on the left side of my vocal cords. So I booked an appointment with an ENT specialist, and to see your vocal cords, unfortunately, they have to stick a tube down your nose.
Ooh.
And push it all the way down there. It's got a camera at the end of it, and they look at your vocal cords.
Oh man.
And so, oh my God, it was awful. And now I'm just thinking about it, and I just got like chicken skin. But I went to see the ENT, and they referred me to a speech therapist who was able to tell me a little bit more about what I had going on. But they told me to take another week off. So I'm like, all right, I just got back into the swing of things. What do you mean I have to take another week off?
Right.
I go and I see my speech therapist, and she took another look at my vocal cords and explained to me that I had a large posterior gap and a little bit of prenodular activity on my left vocal cord. And what that means is when you're singing or when you're talking, the vibrations of your vocal cords come together to close your vocal cords, and that's what produces the sound. When your vocal cords don't come together all the way, that's what causes straining, that's what causes pain, that's what causes fatigue. And my vocal cords weren't coming together all the way. And in the back, I had a really big gap like this that was prohibiting me from reaching my higher notes, being able to belt, and songs that were once really easy became increasingly difficult the more that I kept performing them.
Just painful?
Really, really painful, and cracking, and my voice would completely cut out. And nodules are something that are really terrifying as a singer. That's probably the worst thing that you could hear, is that you have a nodule. The only way that they can remove a nodule is through surgery, but a lot of the times they recommend not, and just kind of working around it, because one wrong move and there goes your voice completely. So I had prenodular activity, which thankfully it was just it wasn't a full nodule. And I had so many big shows lined up. This was right around the holidays. So I had a bunch of major shows coming up, and my speech therapist looked at me and she said that I had to pull the plug on everything. The thing that I love to do the most, imagine hearing that you have to stop doing that entirely.
Right.
I was absolutely crushed. I begged and I pleaded I was like, can I pick and choose, only do like a couple that I really, really want to do? But the more that I had kept performing, the more worse that I was just going to inevitably keep making it. So I was off for almost 2 months, I want to say. And I was actively working my butt off in speech therapy. I was learning so much about the voice, doing anything and everything that I possibly could. And I was able to go see some specialists, and they taught me a lot about how to properly warm up, how to take care of my voice. I wasn't warming up. I didn't really even know that that was a thing.
Right.
And so I'm not warming up. I'm playing a show for 3 hours, and then the aftercare too is something that's also important. I wasn't doing any of that. I would get up on stage, I would perform, and then after that I would go out in the crowd and still be using my voice, mingling, talking, and meeting fans. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love to do that. So, but I wasn't even thinking about what all of the talking and on top of all of the singing was doing to my voice. So I saw some specialists in February, and they, like I said, they taught me a whole lot more about warming up and aftercare. And like I was telling you earlier, I learned that caffeine and alcohol dries out your vocal folds as well. So I had to cut back on the Red Bull, cut back on the Alanis and the Surfsides. But now, after seeing the specialist, I am 100% cleared of that injury.
So what does well, good. So what does aftercare look like?
So after I'm done with a show, I'm still able to go out, meet and talk and greet with fans. But after a show, as soon as I'm done, I will typically, like I said, I have a portable nebulizer. When you eat or drink anything, it doesn't touch your vocal cords. So to hydrate your vocal cords, you need steam. So the nebulizer produces steam through a vocal saline. Put it in my mouth, it touches my vocal cords, rehydrates them. And afterwards, I'll do a little bit of cool down warm-ups, just a little bit of like, just like bring my voice down. And then I'll blow bubbles through a cup, through a straw. That also helps cool down my vocal cords.
No way.
It's a lot. It's a lot. What used to be, I would get up on stage, do my show, meet and greet, hang out, close the bar down with my fans, and then just get in the car and go to sleep and get up and do it all again the next day. Now there's so many more things that I'm adding into my routine.
That's crazy. I feel like I'm in a science class. I didn't know you could do.
But imagine how I felt when I was learning all this stuff. I'm like, what do you mean? But yeah, I am so grateful for my speech therapist and the specialists that I got to see for healing me, helping me, and learning how to properly use my voice. I also wasn't breathing right when I was singing too, and that's what was causing the strain. On top of the large gap in the nodule, I had something called muscle tension dysphonia, and the muscles in my neck and in my throat were working overtime because I wasn't singing properly from my diaphragm. So all of these muscles were contracting and tensing and pulling to force and push the sound out as best as they could to the best of their ability. Now I've learned how to properly breathe through my diaphragm, how to adequately take in a deep breath and push and be able to hold and sustain a note properly. I say as my voice just cracked. But learning all of those things now have completely changed the way that I perform, and it's also helped a lot with my stamina being on stage too. I like to really put on a show, if you will. I jump around and move around a lot on stage, and before learning all the things about my injury, it was hard for me to really control my breathing. But now that I've learned how to breathe properly, I'm able to sustain my notes on top of moving around and doing all the things that I love to do on stage.
I never knew there was so much to just singing.
You and me both. You and me both. It like I said to you earlier, it's so much more than just getting up on a stage and singing. And like I said, I'm glad that I'm able to have this opportunity to be here and talk to you and share all these things with those who might not know.
Yeah, because honestly, I feel like anyone who is gonna watch this show is gonna be like, wow, like there's a lot more that goes into it. That it just makes us appreciate the show a little bit more.
Yeah, thank you for that.
do you have you ever had a bad performance or like a bad night where you're like, oh man, that just sucked?
I would say those shows where I was coming off of the injury and I was still kind of trying to work my way. So before I saw the specialist in February, I was still working with my speech therapist from October up until December. And we had decided that at the end of December, I had played a show at Bar 145 on a Friday, and then my New Year's Eve show was on a Wednesday. And that New Year's Eve show was really, really hard for me. My voice was just still not fully prepared. I wasn't completely back. And able and ready to do the things that I once was able to do. So we decided that throughout the month of January, before I saw the specialist, I could only do one show a week just to give myself a full week of recovery. And in the month of January, those shows that I was playing, it was honestly kind of like a guessing game with my voice. Some shows would be so great. They would be fantastic. My voice would be on 100%. And then the next week I could come back and I would be in pain again. I would be cracking. I would be hoarse. I would be on the struggle bus, if you will.
Yeah.
So I would say those are really my bad performances, if you will.
Yeah.
But I think that every show of mine, I don't think that I would ever classify anything as bad, because at the end of the day, I'm getting to meet so many fans and getting to be up on a stage and do what I love at 21 years old.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and your fans are what? The Joeys?
The Joeys,
The
yes.
Joeys.
They've deemed themselves the Joeys. Like Taylor Swift, she's got her Swifties, but I got my Joeys. They deemed themselves that at one of my shows at Cinco's. I think that that's when I really started to make those younger fans and grow my younger fan base, if you will. And it sucks nowadays because now not only am I on the road so much, but I'm playing in the bars, I'm playing in the clubs, and you know, I don't get to see them as often. So when I do, it's even more extra special when I do get to see them. But I remember some of my fans, they came and they made their own T-shirts and they made their own signs and they had boots and cowboy hats on, and they said that they were the Joeys, and ever since then it stuck.
You should get some hats to say the Joeys.
The Joeys, yeah. I'm working on some new merch for the Joeys right now. So
okay.
yeah, I'm excited for them to see it and excited to see them in it too.
Will we see an album anytime soon? A mixtape? Anything?
I am here to say, this is exclusive news. I'm here to say that I am actually working on some new music right now. Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out on my socials at Andi Jo Taylor. I got some big stuff that I'm going to be announcing all throughout the summer. That isn't just music. I got some shows that I'm going to be announcing. I just announced actually in May, I am traveling to Hamler and I am playing the Hamler Country Music Fest, and I'm opening up for Montgomery Gentry.
Oh, wow.
I'm super excited for that. I had the opportunity to play at Hamler last year, and I opened up for Mary Cutter, and I'm excited to be back this year and opening up for icons Montgomery Gentry.
I think you should definitely do both in English and Spanish, like an album with like mixed.
That is something that I want to do one day. Linda Ronstadt, she put out a Spanish album as well, and I've always admired that about her. Not only do I enjoy her music in general, but I think that her putting out a Spanish album too was really cool. I mean, at the end of the day, I want to hone in on my Hispanic roots as much as I can. And, you know, like I said, I spend every Tuesday with my grandpa, so I carry those roots with me wherever I go. And so I would love one day to put out a Spanish album.
Yeah, that would be, and it's just a whole nother market, right?
Yeah, it's a whole nother audience and market that I'm tapping into.
Yeah, and have you ever heard of like rancheras, you know, like regional Mexican music?
Yes, yeah.
That'd be I listen to that. I like
Do you?
That. Yeah.
I am big on mariachi music. That's
mariachi.
That's my go-to. I don't know how, but it's like the second that note hits, this big, loud, strong voice just flows right out of me. And there's so much passion in mariachi music. And while I'm still getting the hang of learning and understanding and translating all the lyrics, just the musicality of it in general it adds so much fire to me, so much passion.
So one thing we haven't talked about is your guitar. Your lovely guitar. Can you show us it?
My Taylor.
Your Taylor is, and you haven't even said when you like. How long have you been playing guitar?
So I got my first guitar for my 15th birthday, I want to say. And I didn't know how to play it. Full transparency, I didn't know how to play it. But then COVID happened, and like everyone else, I had a lot of time on my hands. And so I taught myself how to play guitar during COVID.
You taught yourself.
Taught myself.
You know, yes. No one actually knows this. I've taken guitar classes.
Really?
Never learned how to play.
You know, some people have told me that too. They're like, the classes that I've taken, it's so much easier to just learn by yourself. So I taught myself piano and guitar. Piano was actually my first instrument. I started playing piano when I was 8 or 9, I want to say.
Yeah.
And I think having that basic knowledge of notes and chord progressions, it helped in my ability to learn guitar so quickly.
Right.
So this is my Taylor. I got this for Christmas. I've got, I want to say like four other guitars as well. I have an Epiphone. I have a Martin. What else? I have a Gretsch as well. But this is my baby. This.
And the piano and the guitar are two beautiful instruments to know how to play, honestly.
They're also very, very helpful and useful in creating music as well. Sometimes I'll create a song on my guitar. Sometimes I'll create a song on my piano. Just depends. But I had been wanting to add a Taylor to my collection, obviously because of my last name. And Christmas morning, my parents, after we had got done opening everything, I opened my gifts. My parents opened theirs that I'd gotten them. And I was like, all right, I'm starting to clean stuff up. And here come my mom and dad around the corner with a big box. And I was like, oh, I didn't even think anything of it. I was like, oh, okay, there's one more. Awesome. And they pulled it out. And I was a puddle of tears. I'm not even going to lie. I was bawling like a baby. And then my strap, my
Andi Jo.
parents got me
Look at
this
that.
for Valentine's Day last year. It is a handmade, genuine leather strap from Texas. And my Taylor, it's a mini, which I prefer throughout. When I had my vocal injury, I was also doing a lot of stuff to take care of my body as well in that time off that I had. And I learned that I have something, I have a really bad shoulder rotation. So my shoulder muscle isn't exactly like, if I turn to the side, you can see it. It isn't exactly like flush with my back. It sticks forward. It pushes out more.
Yeah.
And that's because from playing guitar, when I strum, my shoulder is pushed forward like this. Especially when I had the bigger standard sized guitars, I was really reaching my arm over. So my parents had got me a mini to help with my shoulder pain as well. And it has helped tremendously since then. So this is my baby. This is my girl ever since I've got her. I've taken her all over the road since I got her. So she's seen a lot of cities, a lot of places, and a whole lot more coming soon.
Is her name Taylor?
I have not named her. I'm honestly, I would say I'm really bad at naming my guitars because for me, it's not sticking a name to them. It just depends on what I feel. Like I've written some songs on this guitar, but I've also written songs on my other guitars. I really just gravitate when writing towards whatever guitar I'm feeling. They all have different tones, different sounds to them too. So it just depends on what sound I'm going for.
Huh. Yeah. Play us something, can you?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture here too. Actually, yeah. Go ahead, scoot back. Yeah, here.
I probably should have done this before we started. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you might need. You wanna.
Oh no, I'm good. I just scooted it back. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Let me keep this undone, actually. Let me tune her up really quick. Yeah. I plan on it. Give him a sneak peek of something. Okay. Cool.
So what is this? What song? What's the song name? And this is from what I overheard, unreleased.
Yeah, this is an unreleased original of mine that I'm going to play you guys just because it's a special occasion being on the Nothing Fancy podcast. This is a song of mine called Make Him Mine. And I actually wrote this song the day after I was told that I had to put everything on pause, that I had to take time off for my vocal injury. And I want you to imagine how hard it is writing a song and not being able to sing.
Right.
One thing about me, I'm always up for the challenge. So
Were you humming it?
yeah, exactly. Don't tell my speech therapist, but yeah, I was humming it. But no, so I, instead of sitting and dwelling and sitting in my sorrows of not being able to do the thing that I love, I said, well, let me make use of my time. read a lot, took care of my body, took care of my voice, and I did a lot of writing as well. And this was one of the very first songs that I wrote after being put on vocal rest, and it's called Make Him Mine. And I hope y'all love it. Maybe it's neon lights, or maybe because it's a Friday night that's got me walking in here with a one-track mind. Maybe I'm one hell of a problem. Bartender, make it a double, cause he just walked in and he looks like trouble. What if I stumbled right into him, hit it off, make him fall just because? Don't blame me, blame it on that I've had too much tequila in the jukebox. Sounds like I need you right by my side till they hit the lights down bed, and I can make them all mine. With my blue jeans on that fit me just right, bat my eyes cause it's just my type, and bed I can make them all mine, but just for one night. He's got the smile and the hype. In a perfect world, he'd be Mr. Right, but I ain't looking for the one, just for the one until the sun comes up. But by then, I'll be gone with the wind. Don't blame me, blame it all on that I've had too much tequila in the jukebox. Sounds like I need you right by my side till they hit the lights down bed, and I can make them all mine. With my blue jeans on that fit me just right, down my eyes cause it's so my type, damn bed I can make them all mine, but just for one night.
That was beautiful.
Just to give y'all a little bit of a teaser.
Wow.
It changes up a little bit in the last verse, but y'all got to keep an eye out because maybe that one will be coming out this year. Maybe. So shoot me a follow on socials at Andi Jo Taylor to keep up with your girl. Like I said, I got some big shows that I'm going to be announcing this summer as well, and maybe a new song that I'll be announcing coming out this summer too.
You know, I think everybody in this room that wasn't a Joey is now a Joey.
Listen, I don't know if you're making Benson a Joey though. I can't even lie. He's not about that life, that's for sure.
The ability to play the guitar and sing, I've always admired.
Thank you.
Because it just seems super incredibly hard.
It definitely takes a lot of coordination, that's for sure. And then, you know, me just sitting here singing and playing, that's one thing, but being up on stage and moving around and jumping around as much as I do, and then on top of that, keeping up with the same progression and the same beat and following along the band too. That's a whole nother ball game. Right when I started working with a live band, that was something that I had to adjust to. And it took me a while to get the hang of playing and singing. There were, you know, there was a good year where my chords were choppy and it sounded choppy, and I was still looking down and making sure that I was playing the right thing.
Right. And,
you know, but with practice and with time, I got better at it. And once I started working with the band, it was like, oh, this is a lot more challenging than I thought it would be, because it's not just me and my guitar now. It's lead guitar, it's bass, and it's the drums. And I have to keep in time with everything, or else the whole song's gonna be thrown off. So, and I'm still working on it. You know, I wouldn't consider myself a perfectionist in it by any means, but it is something that I'm still working on, and that I'm still practicing with them as much as I can. And you know, I don't think that I'll ever consider myself a perfectionist by any means in my craft. A quote that my dad has drilled into my head ever since I was a kid by Malcolm Gladwell. He says that to be good at anything, it takes at least 10,000 hours. And, you know, while I've put in a lot of hours into this and I've been busting my butt and working on my craft, I'm nowhere near 10,000 hours. But, well, you know, it's I wouldn't necessarily say that it's difficult, but what I'm trying to say is it's a great thing that I'm nowhere near 10,000 hours because I got a whole lot more shows to play and a whole lot more amazing opportunities coming.
Well, I think you also have I can tell you're very intelligent. You're
Thank
a hard
you.
worker.
Thanks.
You have a really good presentation.
Thank
You
you.
know, and you've put in the work.
Thank you.
That's a perfect recipe, in my opinion, for success.
Thank you so much.
You know, and I really respect the fact that you've taught yourself this whole journey.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you've had people left and right showing you even the guitar. Like I said, I took classes and I could never learn it. You know,
Yeah.
so that's very, very. I respect you a lot for that.
Thank you so much. When it's your passion, you'll stop at nothing to go after it and make it not just a dream, but make it a reality. And you know, I'm blessed enough to have the backing that I do from my parents, from my family, from my friends, and the love that my fans continue to show me in the way that they show up and show out for me.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I feel like I owe a lot of this to the people in my corner, you know, my parents and my family,
Right.
the way that they show up for me, the sacrifices that they make, the sacrifices that I'm making for them, you know. I wouldn't be in the position, I know I keep saying it, but it's true. I wouldn't be in the position that I am if I didn't have the backing that I do. And so for me, it's not as much just for me. It's also for them to be able to take my family on the road, show them places that they've never seen before, and have them right by my side every step of the way. And just to make them proud. That's my goal. That's what I want to do.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Do you feel like, and I want to keep talking about the guitar for a second, but I've got like 10 questions, but
No, you're good.
Before you sang us that beautiful song, you mentioned that you taught yourself how to play the guitar. How? YouTube or?
Yeah, I am lucky enough to be a Gen Zer where I have everything at the touch of my fingertips. All I got to do is get on TikTok, get on Google, and I can figure something out.
Right.
And so
ChatGPT now?
No, I'm very anti-AI, I will say. Very anti-AI. It limits creativity, that's for sure.
That's true.
So, but I Googled basic standard guitar chords and learned frets, learned positioning, learned where to put my fingers, played it, and oh, okay. Yeah. This isn't really as hard as I thought it would be. And so with that, I started to learn pretty simple basic songs, and then that turned into, okay, well, I know enough chord progressions. I know enough information. Let me write my own song.
Right.
And now here I am.
And I wanted to highlight that because, you know, there's whether they're the Joeys or not, but there's people out there who will make excuses as to why they can't play the guitar or why they, you know, but all it really takes from your story is a perfect example is the dedication to actually want to do it.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's the dedication, but it's also having the mindset, the mentality, and the work ethic where I'm going to stop at nothing because this is something that I want. I will do anything and everything that I possibly can to have this thing. And for me, I'm already living out my dream, whether I'm making this run right now or down the road, I'm playing arenas or stadiums, whatever it may be. Well, I did just play my first arena on Saturday.
Yeah, I saw that. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Man, I'm still on cloud 9 from that show. That was so much fun.
How many people?
Oh man, 18,000. Yep, 18,000 people.
18,000. That's wild. Did
That was
you
wild,
did you
but-
get stage fright then? No.
No, I don't get stage fright anymore. Any like hint of nervousness that I might get, I just turn it into adrenaline, and I'm like, all right, well, here we go. It's time to do what we know how to do. And I tell myself that, you know, yes, it's an arena. Yes, there's 18,000 people, but at the end of the day, I'm still putting on the same show, still singing the same song. I know what to do. I know how to do it. I've done it well.
Yeah.
So what's different? Just that there's more people. That's a great thing that there's more people.
Right.
So let's do it. And my mom just mentioned it. 18,000 people. That's not the biggest crowd I've performed in front of. I got to sing our national anthem for the Cleveland Browns. And there was 70,000 people in the stadium.
Wow, 70,000.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That was crazy. When I got the call from the Browns, I'll tell you the story. The Browns emailed me, and me and my dad were huge Browns fans. Every Sunday that we can.
Or are still?
We are still. We are still. My dad, he always says that, we've got heart because we're Browns fans. Right. But, we spend every Sunday that we can, if I'm off, we'll spend every Sunday watching the game together, sometimes with my uncles. And when I got the email, my dad, this is when my dad was still working nights. And so he was sleeping during the day, getting ready to go to work. And I got the email. My mom's on a meeting. I scream at the top of my lungs. When I say scream, like you would have thought like I broke my leg or something, or broke my ankle. I start screaming. I sprint into my parents' room. I'm beating on the door. I'm like, Dad, get up. My dad's like, I thought somebody was trying to kill us. Right. I thought somebody was trying to kill us. What's going on? What's happening? Who hurt you?
Right.
I'm like, the Browns emailed me. They want me to do the national anthem. And I will never forget the look on my dad's face and the tears that came out of his eyes when I told him that. Because, ultimately, yes, it's me being up on a stage, being in a stadium full of 70,000 people. Crazy. It's not just me that I'm doing it for. It's for them too. And having them be by my side and getting to experience the same things that I get to experience. Sorry, I'm going to cry. I am one blessed girl to have the parents that I do. And to make it even better, the weekend that I did it, it was my dad's birthday too. So I was like, Dad, man, I don't know what I'm going to get you next year for your birthday. I might have to steal the moon or something. And then this year, the Browns emailed me again, and they asked me to do their pregame tailgate on Dog Pound Drive, and it was the weekend of my dad's birthday too. And this past year, we ended up getting a win, so it was an even better birthday for him too. So, but just getting to do this incredible thing that I get to call my job, that I get to call my livelihood, and take my parents with me and see all these incredible things and do these amazing experiences with them it's such a blessing, and there's nothing like it.
Anyone who has never heard of Andi Jo will listen to this conversation and think that you've been in the industry for over 10 years the way that you talk.
Thank you.
And I was shocked to find out that you've been in it a year and a half, 2 years. I know you've sang and stuff,
yes.
right?
I've really been on the road now for about 2 years.
For about 2 years.
Yes, yeah. But I like I said, I started at Cinco's. So really I've been performing for 4, but my Cinco days I was just learning the ropes, learning how to be. Yeah, so that's what we refer to as Cinco days. You gotta have
a song called Cinco Days.
I know. Oh, hold on. Let me get my notes out. Let me write it down real quick. I know. We'll make sure you get your credit. Don't worry. But no, those days are really just me kind of figuring things out, figuring out who I was as an entertainer, as a performer, as an artist. But really what I want people to take away from this conversation when they listen to it is that at the end of the day, while I am only 21 years old and I've been blessed enough to cross off so many amazing things off my bucket list, and I'm living out this wild, extraordinary dream, at the end of the day, I'm just a young girl with big, crazy dreams who's got a big heart and one hell of a work ethic and willing to go after it every single day.
I'll give you that. 100%.
Thank you.
What I want to talk about where you see yourself now in 5 years, 3 years. Do you think about that?
I don't think that I do. I think that I try to really focus on living in the moment, living in the show, because maybe 2 years down the road, I can look back and think, damn, remember when I was playing at Bar 145? Or remember when I was playing all over Ohio? I miss those days.
Yeah.
I would give anything to go back to those days.
That's true.
I try not to look ahead too much and more so focus on being in the present. And, you know, every show is the same show to me, no matter what the crowd is, whether it's 70,000 people, 18,000 people, or I'm playing in my Dive Bar 10, favorite dive bar. It's still the same show every single time.
What does success look like to you right now?
Right now, success looks like what I'm doing, just being able to live out this dream of mine. I would say that, in a sense, I feel like I've already made it, if you will. And I know that's such a broad and generic term, but just being able to, I wake up every morning and I get up, I get my coffee, make my coffee, and I'll have my Bible study time. And every morning I wake up and I think, how blessed am I that I get to be so tired from a long weekend of shows, that my feet are throbbing from being in boots all weekend, that I was running on fumes and adrenaline this entire weekend. How cool is that? How blessed am I that I get to wake up and make a post about the show, or that I get to promote the next thing that I'm doing? How cool is that?
Right. Super cool.
So I don't. The bank deposit is crazy. But yeah, but I don't think that I look ahead. I don't think that, I know that the Lord's got a plan for me. The Lord's got a path for me. And right now I'm just blessed and happy to be on the one that I'm on.
What's one thing you haven't done yet that you know you will one day?
Ooh, that's a good question. One thing that I haven't done yet that I know that I will one day. Yeah. Yeah. I last fall. Well, really, backstory to this. In 2023, 24, I want to say, my parents and I, we took a trip down to Columbus for a game, and I can't remember if it was before or after the game, but we stopped at big tailgate that was right across the street from the stadium, from the shoe, and they had a live band there. Massive tailgate. It's called the Owen Lane. They have this huge tailgate, big stage, and they've got live music there before the game and after the game. And there's like hundreds of people that go to this tailgate. And I remember I looked at my parents and I said to them, I'm going to play here one day. I know I'm going to play here one day. And 2 years later, I got to play there. Last fall, I got to take the stage at the Owen Lane, and I got on the mic and I said, before we closed out our set list, I said to everyone that was in the audience, and there were probably thousands of people there when we took the stage. And I said, right now, all of you are here watching me play at the Owen Lane. And I'm going to say to everyone right now that one day I cannot wait to sell out that stadium over there, the shoe across the street. And so now I know that that's one thing that I haven't done yet, that there's something in me that just knows that I'm going to do that. I'm going to sell out the shoe one day.
You will.
Thank you.
You got it. Yeah, you will.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I have no doubt, honestly.
Thank you.
I want to ask you a quick fun question, and then a couple more questions before we wrap up. Give us top 5 artists or 3 that you'd love to work with one day.
Ooh, that is so hard. Yeah, that is a really hard question. I would first name that comes to mind is Jason Aldean. Okay. I love Jason Aldean. We play a couple of his songs in our set, and he is so talented. He's someone that I would definitely want to work with one day. Obviously, Morgan Wallen. Come on, I would love to have a collab with Morgan Wallen. Are you kidding me? Yeah. He is truly a superstar. His star power is impeccable. It's unmatched. And his swagger, his stage presence, everything about him is so cool. I would love to do a song with him. And third, third is tough. I would, let's go with the classic. I would love to do a song with Reba. She's got such a great, powerful, big voice, and she's an icon. She's a legend. I would love to do a song with her one day. That would be, cross that off my bucket list for sure. She's a hard one to sing. We used to have a couple of her songs in our set list, and once the injury happened, I had to pull them because they're really hard to sing. She's got some chops on her. I would love to do a song with her.
We're gonna have to cut Reba from the.
I would make it happen though. If Reba called me and said I want you to do a song with me, I would do everything that I could to make my voice up to par to do a song with Reba. But yeah, those I would say a good top three.
Those are good choices, honestly. Very good choices.
That's a hard question though. I can't even lie. You asked me a tough one.
What kind of legacy do you want to leave through your music?
We have a saying in our household. We've got a lot of sayings, and every single one of those sayings have gotten me to.
It's a Hispanic household. There's always
Seriously, man, hit the nail on the head with that one. But I carry every saying that my dad has said or my mom has said. Sorry, excuse me. And one of the things that my dad has always told me is that when you work for it and you pray for it, don't be surprised when it happens. Like I told you earlier, at the end of the day, while it seems like I'm this big thing, or I'm doing this crazy, large, extraordinary thing, at the end of the day, I'm just a girl who went after it and pushed and put the work in and prayed for it, and now here I am. And that's, like I told you, that's what I want people to take away from this conversation, and that's what I want people to take away from me when they meet me, when they talk to me, when they come and see me at my shows. I always tell my Joeys that I am living proof that if you work for it and you pray for it, whatever dream that you have, it can come true. And I am prime example of that. I have worked my butt off these last 4 years, but I mean, really, I didn't start just from the last 4 years. Right. It's been, since I was a kid, just from my parents instilling discipline in me. The work that I put in throughout high school, from doing the modeling, the acting, the extracurriculars, and then staying on top of school through that too.
I mean, if you look back at just your story, from singing to your stuffed animals to not going the college route, and it seemed like from day one you knew exactly who you were.
Some people looked at me like I was crazy when I said that I wasn't going to college. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to be doing this. Like Luke Combs says in his song, he says, regardless to sum up the song, he says that if he wasn't Luke Combs selling out stadiums and he was still just playing in a bar for tips in a jar, he would still be doing this. And that's exactly how I feel. It doesn't matter if it is the shoe one day, or if I'm still making this run that I'm doing now, years down the road, I'm still going to be doing this regardless. And people looked at me like I was crazy when I said that I wasn't going to college and that this is what I was chasing and going after. And now here I am.
I mean, it's one of those things that I think people were like, oh, here goes another person trying to become a musician or whatever, right? But I think I don't think I know you've got the talent. Honestly, when you started singing, this is gonna sound crazy, but it's like I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but your voice like even became like. Did you notice that? Like her voice, like it was like it switched and it was enhanced. I swear I was like, did we enhance the mics or something?
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I know my speaking voice.
It was kind of supernatural, honestly. I swear.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's a whole different ballgame. When you hear me do mariachi, that's crazy. My favorite thing is when I'm playing somewhere and people who haven't seen me yet, and my parents will look at me and I'll look at them and we'll give each other the look of like,
Right.
let's pull it out.
Uh-huh.
And I hit that first note and it's like you could hear a pin drop in the room. I love there's nothing like that. And it's something that I'm proud of. I'm proud that I'm able to tap into my roots and
Right.
you know, do something as powerful, as strong, and honestly as difficult as mariachi is. It's a really difficult genre to sing. It requires a lot of breath work, a lot of power in your voice, and I'm blessed to be able to do it and share it when I can.
What and I think you may have kind of answered this, but what message do you want people to get when they follow your journey?
Yeah, like I told you that you know, follow me, buckle up because it's a wild ride. I'm playing a different city every night and living out this crazy dream of mine, like I said. And, you know, I am a young girl who wasn't afraid to go after it and wasn't nervous or afraid of what people would say, what people would think. Tune it out, block it out, and I keep my head down. I grind. I work hard. I bust my butt. My parents bust their ass too. And with all that, I'm able to sit right here and have a conversation with you and talk about my journey and share all of the things that I'm doing. And so following me, you don't just see the glitz and glamour that you usually would see from a typical country artist. I'm very real. I'm very transparent. I have a series that I have on my social medias. It's called On the Road with Andi Jo. And I basically show the reality of what my life looks like as a touring musician.
Like behind the scenes?
Yes. Yeah. There's no fancy tour bus and, you know, backstage green rooms, although we did just upgrade our On the Road van. So I'm super excited about that. But, you know, and it shows that we're a family business. You know, well, before we got our On the Road van, it was, all right, we all pile in the Jeep. Dad loads the trailer. Dad drives us there. Mom's working in the front seat. I'm in the back seat, sprawled out with the dogs, warming my voice up, getting ready, preparing for the show. We get to the venue. My dad's setting up. My dad is handling the equipment. My dad is my stagehands, right?
Yeah.
I'm changing in bar bathrooms and going out, getting on stage. Those are my dressing rooms. Those are my green rooms. Getting on stage, and then my dad tears down and we load up, and sometimes we don't get home till like 5-6 o'clock in the morning. I run on a couple hours of sleep, get up and do it all again the next day.
Imagine the feeling when your mom and dad are like, well, we can officially retire and do this.
I don't think my parents will ever retire, and I don't think that I'll ever let them retire. I think that, you know, my dad will retire from being
retire. Yeah,
stage,
retire
yeah.
like retire like they're exactly, change careers.
They'll change careers. But I can't wait for the day where we'll open a restaurant in Nashville. We'll call it Andi Jo's Tacos. Yeah, they'll retire, just a different career.
You were gonna say I can't wait for the day.
I can't wait for the day where they get to change careers, and when I get to look at my dad and be like, put the speaker down. They've got this. You don't got to do it. Get off your feet, sit down, have a glass of water, take a second, take a breath. Same thing for my mom. Mom, you stand there, you look pretty, and you dress Benson, and you stand side stage. That's all you got to do today. I can't wait for that day.
Last couple of things. Do you have a message for the Joeys? You wanna?
For my Joeys?
For your Joeys, yeah.
First, I want to say to my Joeys, I miss you guys so much. I feel so bad. I've been running around all over the place on the road. I know that some of you guys still come and see me whenever you can, and I appreciate that, but I miss you guys, and I hope that I'll be able to play a show where I'll be able to see you guys, and me and a lot of my Joeys will sing Taylor Swift together a lot. I'll call them up on stage, so can't wait for that. I'm working on some new merch for you guys and some new music for you guys to listen to, too, and like I tell you guys when I'm on stage, when you work for it and you pray for it, don't be surprised when it happens. So I hope that y'all are still out there dreaming, but you're also working for it. And I can't wait to see you soon.
Is there anything we haven't discussed or talked about that you would like to say?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything, right? Yeah.
Well, we haven't covered one thing, and that was bringing your parents to the camera.
Yes, please. Oh my gosh.
We would like to see the team behind Andi Jo. Very supportive team.
And you know what? Here's the issue. I saw my mom reach for Benson first. It's okay. It's fine.
So you'll have to introduce everyone. I like Ben. Is Benson the one with the sunglasses?
I fear. I fear.
Do you want to introduce? We've got Thomas.
This is my dad. This is Tommy T. Oh, come around. Yeah, you come. I was gonna say, can you fit? There you go. Okay. This is my team. Like I said, we're a family business. This is my dad. This is my mom. This is my little brother, Benson.
We still get amazed that our daughter's important enough for people to want to talk to her on a platform like this and hear what she has to say here about her journey. And when we see people buy her T-shirts, like there's really people that want a T-shirt with our daughter's face, name on it, and it amazes us every time. It's surreal.
For me, it's surreal. We spent this past weekend in Cleveland, like Andi was telling you, and I will never get tired of seeing our daughter's face on the Jumbotron. Very surreal. And it's very surreal when her little Joeys come running up, Andi Jo, and they wear sparkly cowboy boots like her. They dress like her. They wear.
When she gets noticed out.
It's
still, oh, that's Andi Jo. That's Andi Jo. Or when she goes, we go back to the high school and the teachers.
Oh my God! Thanks for coming back.
Thanks for coming. You remember us? Me and her mom. We get little girls or. That's Andi Jo's mom and dad.
Everywhere we go, oh my God, that's Andi Jo's mom. But for me, for sure we're proud parents.
Yeah.
For sure. You have to be, but the thing that makes us so proud of her is she's genuine. She means it. It's not TV time for her. It's truly who she is as a person. And the greatest compliment I think we've ever received is a couple of the Joey's parents came up to me and Dad and said, "Your daughter is such an incredible role model for my kids.
For our kids.
She's an inspiration."
Yeah.
And I, even thinking about it, it's that's what makes us proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she really is. There's a lot of.
She's
cute
never
girls.
deterred from
Girls I can see
her values. She's
her
never.
Inside, what's in her heart and how she really feels. It was easy to back it.
Right.
That we knew as long as she was doing what she was going to do, and it was easy to back it. And she said, at first, we guys, thanks for your support. I said, we don't support you, baby. You're going to do this. We're just backing you. We're the push you need.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if one of these days we see you at the Grammys. Or are the Grammys the music ones? The Grammys, right? The Grammys
are
are
the music one.
Or
we want
AMCA, CMA, all those.
We want the
CMA
Grand Ole
awards.
Opry too. That's one thing that I would.
And if you call,
Oh my gosh,
we should never forget where she comes from. If we can make it, we'll be here.
that's for sure. That's for sure.
Everybody, this is Andi Jo and her team. Thank you guys very much.
No, thank you so much, Kevin, for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you to your team as well. This has been such a great conversation. I really appreciate you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you.